Shalom. I call out a walk. I pray this devil die and get every evil thing the Lord got to give. And listen, I know you look at us in the state we in right now. Come here, Shalom. Come here, Shalom. I know you look at us in the state we in right now. Black people on drugs, and we suffering and dying. And I know it seems like you can do whatever you want to this people. I know it seems like this, but the time for glorifying yourself is soon at an end.
I would like to introduce you guys to Officer QANAH from the I.S.U.P.K. How are you today, sir?
Shalom, Lord in Christ. I'm doing great, sis. I appreciate you being on the show. You know what I'm saying? My name is QANAH. I'm from the I.S.U.P.K. from 125th and 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahanna. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this since 1969, which is trying to separate the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans from these other nations and join them back together to their people and these laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right, 100%. Shalom to you as well. So where are you located at right now? Can you let people know that? And I know you teach a class as well. Can you tell people how to get a hold of you in your state and in your city and how to be a part of what you're a part of?
Con, no sweat. I'm located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You could also look us up at ISUPK.com. We're actually located all over the United States, also outside of the United States in the UK and a couple other places. If you go to the ISUPK.com, you'll be able to look up all our locations. We got free online classes Tuesday through Friday. We got the Monday Night Grill Show with Commander General Yahanna. We got the Vibes Radio Show Thursday midnight, you know what I'm saying, with Captain Tazariak, you know what I mean, from the ISUPK. These brothers is great brothers, man. They pushing out tons and tons of information for our people every week. Everything's free. We having classes in Minneapolis, Minnesota, downtown, 300 East Nicollet Mall. That's downtown, 300 East Nicollet Mall. We're usually in room 304, 111 as well. So you could always ask the front desk. They'll direct you to the class we're in. We start at noon, and we teach on Sunday. So, yeah, we do this 7 days a week, though.
Okay. And can you inform everybody who the I.S.U.P.K. is? What is the I.S.U.P.K. in the doctrine, I should say? I don't know how what other word they use for you guys is teaching exactly to give people a little bit of idea for those who are not informed and don't know nothing about the I.S.U.P.K. Can you let them know who is the I.S.U.P.K. and your foundation?
The foundation of the I.S.U.P.K. is the Most High, Yahweh, God, the power, you know what I'm saying, and our King, Yahweh Shai. That's the foundation of the I.S.U.P.K. It's brotherhood. You understand what I'm saying? It's following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. The I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General Yahanna was founded back in 1969 under a brother named Bivens. You understand? And what we are is we are a nation. You know what I'm saying? The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans make up of 12 different tribes in one nation. So that's what we are, and who we are as the prophets and the priests of the Most High. And what we did is we came back to tell you that it's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High and separate from these heathens and all of their culture and their customs.
That's what's up. That's real. So now there's people out here that don't understand. Sometimes people think that the I.S.U.P.K. or anybody that is not a Christian church, because you guys are not considered Christians, and anybody who are not a Christian or you know, Catholic, they think that you're reading out of some extra made-up Bible or something. Can you let people know where you guys' readings and your scriptures are coming from?
Well, you know, contrary to popular belief, we do study. So we, you know what I'm saying, we read from lots of different, we read a lot of different records and a lot of different historical books. But the book that we teach out of is the 1611 King James Version Bible. You understand what I'm saying? Which is the original transliterated version from the Latin, the Greek, the Hebrew to the Latin into the English. So that's what we teach out of. Yeah, we just read out of the Holy Bible. You know what I'm saying? And teach out of the Holy Bible. We don't teach what we think or what we feel. It's not personal. You know what I'm saying? It's the Lord's business. So that's what we do. You know? So, yeah.
That's what's up. So when it comes to the commandments, when you say commandments, what are you speaking of? We have to break this all the way down.
I'm speaking of, I mean, I mean, you know, when we talking about the commandments, there's over 600 of them. You know what I mean? But what it comes down to in the end of the day is us trusting in the Lord with all our heart and all our mind and all our soul, and loving our brother like we love ourselves. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's scriptural. You see what I'm saying? And with blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people, the problem is, for one, we don't know that we're brothers and sisters. For two, you know, we've been destroyed by the white man, and because of that, we don't know that we're brothers and sisters. And what we don't do is we don't love each other, and we stop trusting and having faith in the Most High, and we put our trust into this white man, his army, his culture, his customs, and his government, and Christianity, which is the most disgusting thing on the earth. And because of that, we're destroyed as a people and dying in the street like dogs.
And when you say commandments, and you say there's over 600 commandments, just for those who are confused of what type of commandment he's speaking of, he's talking like the 10 Commandments in the Bible. Those are commandments. And when you talk about statutes in laws, those are actually reverting to the statutes and laws that come out of the Bible from the Most High, who's telling us and giving us our rules and our orders of what we are supposed to do on a daily basis. And a lot of times, just like the pagan holidays, I don't, you know, to try to keep straight on this for me, but with the pagan holidays and the different things that they have out here in the worldly world, you know, there's holy holidays that people don't know nothing about that are in the Bible that they can find out as well. And happy Passover to you, by the way.
Oh, it's the feast. Today is actually the Feast of Dedication. You know what I'm saying? Which is us celebrating.
Oh, okay.
That's right. It's a feast day. And you know what I'm saying, Tawada, for even trying to recognize it. I appreciate that. Most of our brothers and sisters is too busy getting high. The truth of the matter is, it's a 7-day feast that we have, and we're celebrating. You can find it in the book of the Maccabees, 1st and 2nd Maccabees. You know what I'm saying? When we were overthrown by some heathen, you know what I'm saying, white folks. And what we did was there were some heroic brothers who came together and gathered themselves together like the Lord said to do in Zephaniah 2:1, which we'll touch on later. You know what I'm saying? Came together like soldiers, you know, fearless, and fought, you know, to free our women and our children from the rape and the murder and the castration and all of the things that we've been going through in America. That's what happened in the Maccabees. We fought, you know what I'm saying? We got free, and after that, it was a feast, you know, like a big party for 7 days. So what we do is we recognize this holiday, and we keep this holiday, and we remember this holiday or this feast because in the condition that we're in today, we need to do the same thing that we did then now to get up out of the situation that we're in, which is to separate from the heathens, which is the white man, the Arab, and the African. I ain't going to like that one. I know they're going to get some backlash on that one. But the stinking African as well. We have to separate from them, the Chinese, man, and everybody else, and gather ourselves back together and build our nation back strong. Get our people off of crack cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Stop our brothers and sisters from gang banging on one another and raping and murdering and pillaging from each other.
Now, you just used some very strong language when you said the stinking African. I don't even know what to say. We're getting ready to, for those of you who's just tuning in, you guys are tuning to PROMOSTAR Radio with your girl, Sipping Candy Baby. Oh, baby. Well, Officer QANAH from the I.S.U.P.K. We are talking about what's the resolution to police killing the unarmed minorities. But right now we're getting a little bit of history and background on the I.S.U.P.K. and QANAH and the type of views that he's getting ready to discuss and cut this subject down for us. Before we get any further into this, I know you and Obey None, you're featured on Obey None's song, Victorious. You want to speak a little bit about that? I'm getting ready to play that for everybody who's listening. You want to speak about that?
No sweat. That was a brother that I grew up with, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he himself, he been, you know, slowly but surely waking up. You know what I'm saying? The brother did a whole 180, changed his life around. He's, you know what I'm saying, you know, and what he wanted to do was do a song, you know what I'm saying, with some brothers that he knew was righteous and was about that movement. Somebody who actually is out here putting in the footwork, feeding Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. Somebody who's out here teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people. All glory to Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying, under Commander General Yohanna, you know what I'm saying, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, we did a little cut together, and it turned out pretty nice, you know what I'm saying. And, you know, basically on the song, I just wanted to focus on, you know what I'm saying, some things that don't get spoke about, like Black babies coming up missing, you know what I'm saying, white drug dealers never making the news, you know, things of that sort, you know what I'm saying, that seem, you know, that get up under my skin, because, you know what I'm saying, us being under these other nations and, won't, you know what I'm saying, refusing to separate, we're always exploited as, you know, the bad man, when actually we're the most beautifulest thing to ever touch this earth, the Black, Hispanic, and Native American people.
That's what's up. So this is Victorious by Obey None featuring QANAH, AHLA. While you play this track, make sure you guys hit up some more people so that everybody can hear what's getting ready to come next. This is epic, and I'd like to thank you for being on this show right now, and I'm going to thank you in the end. So for those who are tuned in, check this track out. Press the 1 key if you got something you want to say.
Ride with the warrior, or die, I'm just warning you. You'll feel the euphoria. We're glorious murderers. And we will be victorious. We will be victorious. Ride with the warrior, or die, I'm just warning you. You'll feel the euphoria. We're glorious murderers. And we will be victorious. We will be victorious. Had work, no job. Whacking, no pride. Mentality was so mob, same motto for my whole squad. On God, no religion, but I know God. So wild, my mama think it's so odd that I like to pray before I load up and go nuts. So what? You know what? I don't really give a no need for an analogy. That was a young mentality. Same as these white folks minus the salary. Brainstorm the strategy. You looking at the masterpiece. Got the on lock, but the guy had to change it up. You used to flow a different way. Why you bring it up? I knew an old flow, murder your flow, so hang it up. You kids having tantrums, rapping like an angry, but they got that on live. The key to the cities ain't mine nor yours, cause they got that on live. You can feel it in your vein, it's hard to maintain, cause they got that on live. You stand for be a man, or are you straight with being called boy? I'm at the clan door like the warrior, or die, I'm just warning you. You'll feel the euphoria. We're glorious murderers. And we will be victorious. We will be victorious. Ride with the warrior, or die, I'm just warning you. You'll feel the euphoria. We're glorious murderers. And we will be victorious. We will be victorious.
God didn't make it. God made a man in his own image and after his likeness, but the white man makes and pimps and hustlers and faggots. That's what the white man makes.
Nobody give a about
Black babies dying in the ghetto all alone and nobody ever hear about. Black babies coming up missing in their whereabouts that never figured out. Why the white drug dealers face never make the news, guess it never figured out. Even when it still lose, new rules, no rules to this race war. Tear, pick a wolf, face off. No talking, just kill it when we face off. Death to the white man, praise God. I got a hit list that can fix this. On my list is a list full of misfits, hating doing to be riches in the list of the vicious, and they all worship Satan. Too many effeminate when knowledge is limited. I'm sipping on Genesis, I'm reading on Genesis. Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai is limitless. I'm reaching Obadiah 1 and 9 to finish this. Diminish this spell of hell and ignorance. Give back every black choir boy his innocence, and line up all the preachers, give them all life sentences, and sacrifice my own life to take away blemishes. Been waiting on the white man to love you back. He gave you heroin, put your ass on crack. Hands up, don't shoot, then your ass get whacked. No justice, no peace. What about that? Yeah. What about that? Been waiting on the white man to love you back. Yeah, yeah. Hands wrong, put your ass on crack. Hands up, don't shoot. What about that? Can you see now? You ain't free now. Getting beat down by the same guys that they gave you to save you. Flee out as you bleed out. Wanna flee out, but it's too late. Why Jesus can't save you? You serving the serpent. You in the circus. Everything around you it moves in circuits. You still thinking apples and pregnant virgins instead of learning precepts and back to verses. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Powerful. For those who are just tuned in, wake up. It's your girl, Simply Candy Baby. Oh, baby, on PromoStar Radio right now. Shout out to Next to Blow, which is a proud sponsor of PromoStar Radio. We are in the building with Officer QANAH from the I.S.U.P.K, and we are talking about what's the resolution to police killing unarmed minorities. Welcome back. Now, that song is awesome. I played that song. That was Obey None featuring QANAH. I played that song on our very first show when we very first aired. I played that song, Obey None. He sent it to me. I was real happy to get it. I got the edited version and the unedited version, and that one right there was the edited version. And I don't think he has that on SoundCloud. I don't think that's anywhere yet. So stay tuned for that. What is he? Is that an album he's getting ready to drop, QANAH?
I believe it's a song that he put on his album. So the song should be coming out with his album, and his album should be coming out soon. You know what I'm saying? But we got all kind of stuff we've been working on. I just wanted to shout out Officer Katazah, you know what I'm saying, from the ISUPK, Lost Tribes in the Promised Lands. If y'all like dope music like that, I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, where brothers is talking about righteous things, you got to check out Katazah, Officer Katazah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, from the ISUPK, the Lost Tribes in the Promised Land. Check that out.
Well, that's what's up. Make sure you send it to PromoStar Radio at promostarradio@gmail.com. Make sure you send it to me. I'll send it 100%. Shout out to Cold Peace and Cold Peace Radio for linking me with a couple of different things on this subject as well. So the question that I want to start this off with is, why are cops killing minorities? What is your view on why do you think cops are out here killing minorities? I mean, they're unarmed, hands up, handcuffed, on the ground already. I mean, executional style, everything. Excuse me. I'm a little hyped up about it. But
okay, no sweat. No sweat. I'm glad you asked that question. You know, I want to tell you that none of this is personal. It's just factual. You know what I'm saying? The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And when I say devil, I'm not talking about no spooky spirits or no red little people with horns running around with shovels. I'm talking about, pitchforks. I'm talking about the great deceiver. You know what I'm saying? And one of the great ways that the white man has deceived America is believing that he's courageous and that he's great and that he's fearless. You know, you got the Superman, you got the Spider-Man, the Batman, you got the Incredible Hulk. He's white at first, then he turns green. You know what I'm saying? But if I was the Hulk, I wouldn't want to stay white neither. But he turns green. You know what I'm saying? And so they got this big army, all these bombs and everything else. But the truth is the white man is a coward. The truth is the white man is afraid. The truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans are stronger than any other nationality on the earth. And it ain't just the so-called white man. The Asian man, the Arabs, the Indians with the dot, You know what I'm saying? The East Indians, they're all afraid of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people because even subconsciously they know. You know what I'm saying? That there's no comparison to us in any type of form. Not physically, not mentally, not nothing. Not socially. There's nothing that they cannot, you know what I'm saying, hold a candlestick next to the gifts that the Lord has given us because we're God's chosen people, according to the scriptures. So, you know, when they see a black man or a black woman, and when I say black, I want you to know that I'm talking about all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. I'm talking about all 12 tribes of Israel. I'm not just talking about the so-called Negro. When they see blacks, they're afraid, you know, and the white man knows that his nation is falling. America is falling. America is going down. Just like any other great dynasty in the world, America is going down. The economy is going down. The food processing is horrible. The water is ridiculous. All right? They can't even control their internet, being hacked by all kind of different countries. You know, they tried the little NATO thing. It's all falling apart. Russia's turning their back on them. You know what I'm saying? China don't want anything to do with them anymore. They're imposing on the international water space and setting up military bases in the middle of the damn international water space. Russia imposing on the airspace. America is going down, and everybody knows it. You know, and the white man, he feels him and fears losing that power that he had over us. You was going to say something?
So you think that because the white man is in fear that he's going to lose power of America, that they're killing black people?
That's right. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you do when you're afraid.
Well, why do you think that if the black people are not coming up? I mean, why do you think that? I mean, do you think that the black people are gaining some type of power that white people are afraid of right now, or? Yes,
and it's the power of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't assume.
We're waking up. And
yeah, exactly. There you go. That's where I was going with it. Yeah, don't be afraid if you find out that more Europeans know about the ISUPK than blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because they're watching. You know what I'm saying? And they're terribly afraid of a so-called Negro with a brain. You understand what I'm saying? And at the ISUPK, we don't get high and sleep with white women and sit around and eat pork all day. So, you know, our minds are working very well. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, not only is he, you know what I'm saying, afraid, but he's also the devil the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying? It's in his blood to be a murderer. You know what I'm saying? He's more subdued than any beast of the field. So, you know, we don't expect anything of him but to be a rapist, a murderer, and a crook and a liar and a thief and an identity crook. That's what we expect of him. But what we also expect of our people.
Okay, go ahead.
If I could. If we could also, what we also, I know I'm a little long-winded. What we also expect of our people, though, is to separate from the so-called white man and come together again and come back into this nation at the I.S.U.P.K, under Commander General GEN.YAHANNA, where we have a government that works, where we're not running around shooting our brothers down in the street when there's an altercation or a problem.
Mm-hmm. So what do you consider the blacks and Native Americans and Hispanic people that are raping and killing and you know, what do you call those people?
I call those people. Go ahead. No, finish. Go ahead.
Who are no different?
You said they're no different.
Who are committing no different crimes from the so-called white man.
Okay, the reason I had you say that again was because there is a difference. There's such a big difference between a black, Hispanic, or Native American person who commits a crime and a so-called white man who is the devil. Because, see, when blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans commit crimes, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans go to jail. So over 2 million black men locked up in America right now. That's more black men locked up in America than there was slaves in the 1800s. The black woman's killing 1,800 babies a day by abortion, which is making her the leading murderer in the planet. You understand what I'm saying? So at this point, we're dying and being locked up worse than we was dying and being locked up during slavery. So is there a difference? Yeah, there's a difference. The difference is the white man doesn't pay for any of his crimes. The white man right now benefits every day off of the murder and the rape and the pillage of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people, and he ain't never did a day in jail. You see what I'm saying? His kids haven't never did a day in jail. They walk around on the blood, sweat, and tears of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans and talk to us like we're less than human. You understand what I'm saying? They never restored the black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They never gave any reparation to the blacks, Hispanics, or Native Americans. I know they never kept one treaty they had with the so-called Native Americans. They broke every treaty that they ever had with the Native Americans.
So what would you say to a caller if a white person called and they spoke to you right now and they said, well, there are white people that are in jail right now for those crimes? What would your response be to them?
There's nowhere that you can compare the amount of Europeans. See, this is the problem. A lot of people run their mouth, but they don't know statistics and they don't have any information. The truth of the matter is you could put all the European penitentiaries together and it still does not add up. And you could use the Europeans that's locked up in America, and it still does not hold a candlestick next to the amount of so-called African Americans and Hispanics that are locked up in America.
And
so a number of people lie, but numbers don't. Salakia, just like Yo Gotti said, I hate to quote the brother, but it was deep. He said that because people lie, but numbers don't.
Mm-hmm. So that's what you're saying when you say that the white man is not paying, meaning that he is not paying nowhere near close to what the 12 tribes are paying for the sins that they commit or for the worldly crimes that they commit. They're not paying nowhere near close to it. So that's what you're trying to say by saying that, it doesn't even add up. The amount to it don't add up, which for you feel as if they're not paying for their crimes. Now,
well, let me respond real quick to that because I know you want to move on. But no, that's not exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the white man is incapable of having compassion. He's incapable of bringing justice to himself. So because he will not bring justice unto himself, the Lord has to bring justice down upon him. You understand? He will never repent for what he did because it's not in him to repent because he is the devil that the Bible speaks of. So the truth is that the only way that he ever pay for his sins is when the Most High destroys him. And that's what's happening right now. That's why you see all of these terror attacks. You see all of these wars popping out of nowhere, and it ain't going to stop. It's only going to get worse. World War III, America's going to be destroyed. The so-called white man and his government and his mighty army is going to be destroyed, according to the Bible.
Okay. Now, you guys heard it from QANAH from the I.S.U.P.K. Those of you guys are just tuned in. You're tuned in to PROMOSTAR Radio with your girl, Simply Candy Baby, oh baby. Now, I have a statistic real quick that I believe to be absolutely, me personally, I don't think that it's true. But I just looked up, it said that 776 people were killed by the police this year, and 161 of them were unarmed. 71 of them were just shot. And they're saying that more white people are killed by the police every single year than black people, than minorities, period. They're saying more white people are killed by the police than minorities, period. And then I got on Black Lives Matter's website, blacklivesmatter.com, and I read a statistic that they have up there where it says every 28 hours a black person is being murdered by the police or belligerent law enforcement. And so I'm just trying to figure out. Go ahead.
If I could, on something that you said about those statistics do not add up. All right, when we're only 12% of the population. So if you do the odds, we're dying at a larger rate.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's
Well, that
garbage.
makes
You know what I'm
sense.
saying?
That makes
Plus,
sense.
how could we trust a person who's lied about everything since the minute we've got here? He lied about joining with the so-called Native Americans and having a peace treaty. Gave them smallpox, killed 98% of them. You know what I'm saying? He lied about reparations for the so-called blacks. We ain't got nothing. 40 acres and a mule. That's never going to happen. You understand? He lied and said that he found America when there were people already here. We were already here. You know, so I mean, like, he's been a liar since the beginning. So how do you trust what a liar says anyway? He lied in Christianity when he said there was an immaculate conception. He lied in Christianity when he said that Jesus loves everybody and God loves everybody. That's not scriptural. He lied when he said that everybody was supposed to be joined together, blacks, Hispanics, whites, Indians, Asians, it don't matter. That's a lie. So, you know, he's lied about everything that he's given us, you know, everything that he's done to us. You know what I'm saying? So how can we trust his statistics? Hell, they don't even call a terror attack until they know it wasn't white people. You know what I'm saying? They just got done running in there and shooting up all those people out there 60 miles away from L.A., what was it, San Bernardino or something like that? I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name correct. But it was right outside of L.A., and, hey, it took them until they caught the suspects in order to call it a terror attack when they found out that the people were not of European descent. You know what I'm saying? So they could blame it on some radical extremists or something. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, because the white man can't be a terrorist. You know what I'm saying? Although he is the greatest terrorist on the planet. America is the greatest terrorist on the planet. Nothing he has is his. Everything he possesses, he stole it.
Now that's real deep if you actually think about what he's saying and keep an open mind to some of the knowledge that he's spitting to you today, that he came upon the truth of from the ISUPK, and you can find them at the ISUPK.com. I have a caller with the number 1 key who's been pressed that very patiently waiting. We're going to get to you real quick. Caller, area code 612, last 48762. You're on PromoStar Radio. Who's this?
This is Cole P.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much, and thank you for the information that you posted on my page as well. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, one main question, because I've been listening to what he's saying, you know what I'm saying? I totally agree with a lot of what he's saying, but my question is who sat down at the table and bargained these deals that went with the lies? You know what I'm saying? When did the power change? Somebody had to sit down and agree to it, or somebody had to fold.
No sweat, sis. So let me make sure that I got your question right. You're saying, what was the point when they started lying to us and we didn't? You're saying, like, where did the lies begin at? That's what you're asking?
No. That's not. The lies was always present. It's there. Who sat down at the table and negotiated the deals and said it was okay for us to be in the state that we're in right now as people?
You're saying who sat down and created a law to say that we'll be in the state that we're in right now?
Not necessarily a law. Okay, let me see if I can simplify it a little bit more.
Yeah, please try to clear that up.
At one point, black men were in power, right? The indigenous people or whatever nation when did the power change?
Okay, let me tell you. I'm glad that you
lied. They did this.
No, sis. I'm gonna show you what happened. I'm gonna show you what happened in the Bible, though. Okay, let's go. Take me to Deuteronomy 28 and 15. See, because what the sister's asking is this: she's saying there was a time when we was in power because we the greatest nation in the world. You know, we the best at everything we do. You know, we the best swimmers, we the best dancers, we the fastest runners. We the best fighters in the world. You know what I'm saying? She's wondering, well, how could we go from being the strongest men on the planet to being in the condition that we're in now, where we're in want and we're in need of all things? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have my brother read this to you in a second. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15, Baba Kashar. Go ahead and read this for the sister.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments.
Now stop right there. Now this is now earlier in the game it told us what we had to do in order to be on top of all the other nations. Okay, we'll break that scripture out in a little bit. But right here it's telling you what's going to happen to us if we do not hearken unto the voice of the Most High, meaning listen, hold on to the voice of the Most High, and to do all the law, statutes, and commandments of this Bible. Go ahead.
In his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee.
All these what?
All these curses shall come upon thee.
So see, sis, in Deuteronomy 28, the whole entire Deuteronomy 28, you know what I'm saying, there was curses that came upon us. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and really 54. You know what I'm saying, 48 through 50. So a lot of curses came upon us. We're going to read a couple of those curses to you so you can understand what happened to us. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Wait a minute. We shall serve who?
Thine enemies.
Thy who?
Thine enemies.
Oh, the Spaniards were our what?
Thine enemies.
The white man is our what?
Thine enemies.
Those so-called Africans that had us and sold us in slavery, them is our what?
Thine enemies.
Read on.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Which who gonna send them against you?
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Okay, that's what happened. Read on.
In hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
And in want of all things, and thirst, and in hunger, and in nakedness. Hey, look, we even talk like this to this day. What do you say to somebody who's hurting and they just down to do anything to get some money? You be like, man, that brother, that sister thirsty, man. You thirsty. You know what I'm saying? We is thirsty. We thirsty. We hungry. We in want and need of all things. Ain't a city in America or a state in America that you could name me that doesn't have a ghetto full of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who's thirsty and who's hungry and who's in want of new things. You need a new car right now. I don't even know you. You need a house right now. You need an extra room right now. You need more money right now. You see what I'm saying? Your kids need something right now. We all in want and need of all things. And it's all because we walked away from the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Let's finish this scripture up real quick.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
A yoke of iron upon your neck until you be destroyed. Now, who do you know in history walked around with a yoke of iron on their neck beside the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? You know what a yoke of iron is, right? That's that big old shackle they used to put around blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans' necks. They even had a one that went to the top of their head and went around their neck, and they dumped water down on the man's head so he couldn't breathe to break the men that they considered bucks or strong men. You understand? I know you've seen those before in them old slave movies where they got the shackle around their neck and they got all them shackles on their hands and their feet. You seen that?
Oh yeah, I knew exactly what.
Okay, all right. So this right here. Oh, that's right. Okay, well that's coming. That's right. It's coming from. Okay, right here. This is what happened to us. We started eating pork. We started smoking weed. We started celebrating Christmas. We started celebrating Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day and birthdays and St. Patrick's Day. We wanted to be like them. We wanted to be homosexuals, all right? We wanted to be murderers and thieves and crooks. We wanted to gossip and we wanted to bear false witness against our brothers and sisters. That's why we're in the condition we're in right now. That's why it's okay for a so-called white man to murder you in the street right now and no one says anything about it. You know why? Because you're too busy trying to get that new Rolex. You're trying to sell crack to your brother to get that new Rolex. You see what I'm saying? She trying to get to the club to swing from a pole. He trying to get to the club to throw some money on the woman at the pole when there ain't supposed to be no whores, of the daughters of Israel. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why we in the condition we in right now. Because we refuse to separate from the white man who is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Well, that was a great way for you to break down her question. I appreciate you for that and pulling out those scriptures. That was Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48 through 50. There's a whole lot of people that are calling in right now. For those of you guys who are just tuned in, hold on. We're talking about what's the resolution to police killing unarmed minorities. And if you guys have anything that you would like to say or any question you would like to ask, and it will be answered accordingly to QANAH and the ISUPK and the views according to a biblical standpoint. So this is not nothing that he's coming up with on his own. He's pulling it out of the Bible and answering your questions with the scripture. So if there's anybody else that has any questions that they would like to answer, make sure you press the 1 key.
All right. Hey, if I could, real quick, one thing about that sister I wanted to say that I didn't say. And I know I said a lot, but don't you ever forget this. The main thing that's killing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is Christianity. Christianity is a cancer to the black, Hispanic, and Native American community. It's a cancer. And because we want to follow false gods and false doctrines and philosophies, it has us destroyed as a person.
Oh, I know.
Right.
I just wanted, you know what I'm saying, since we on the show, I just wanted it to be said out there in a different standpoint, because I didn't know exactly how to voice it out there, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, we here for you, sis. Yeah, that's what we here for.
I totally agree with a lot of what you were saying. I just wanted people to know where it changed, you know, because us as a people, like you said, we changed, you know what I'm saying? It was plagues, it was disease, you know what I'm saying? It was things that were supposed to come to pass.
Guess what's so beautiful about it, sis? The beautiful thing about it is we could walk away from that Islam, that Christianity, that Buddhism, that ancient Kemetic garbage, and we can come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, and we can rule over this planet again. We're going to do it again, with or without the brothers and sisters that don't want to comply to the law, statutes, to the Most High. But a sister like you should be getting into them classes down there, 300 East Nicollet Mall every Sunday, and come down there with the men of the Lord and the sisters of the Lord, and join this nation and help build this nation, so we can stop dying in the streets like Michael Brown and like Eric Gardner and Tamir Rice. All right, and the brother over north that just got passed away recently.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
Now, Cold Peace, I'm going to put you back on hold, and we're going to link back in with you as soon as we start talking about the Jamar Clark case, which was over there, because I know you have a lot of knowledge about it. And can you tell everybody where you're from real quick?
You said, what was that again?
Can you let everybody know where you're from?
Oh, I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yep,
right
and
here.
Tell everybody your radio station that you have as well.
Thursday night live on True Radio ENT, Blog Talk Radio. Thursday night, I turn up. We have a lot of different issues, different discussions, interviews, music. More than anything, I promote anybody that's trying to, basically anything that you could promote. If you can say it, we got it.
That's how we do it. We're getting ready to get into one song real quick and give QANAH a small little break. Make sure you guys, anybody that has anything you want to say, make sure you press that 1 key. I see these callers is rolling in off the Richter scale. This has been one of the most anticipated shows so far on the history of PROMOSTAR Radio, so I am very proud to have you. When we come back after this song, we're going to talk about what is the answer to these cops killing minorities, and we're also going to roll that over into do you think that black people should join the forces like the Army and and the police force and different things like that? Because I believe that a lot of kids from just any nationality, any race, has always been taught that when you grow up you should be a doctor, a lawyer, a police officer, a fireman. All that was all inside of the categories of who you should be when you grow up. And I think that's around the whole world of a list of a job that, these kids are taught at a very young age who they should be and what they should aspire to be when they grow up. So we're getting ready to hit up this song real quick. This is by Deshaun Pete. I like to call it My God.
Yeah. Who's God? You're my God of Israel. My God of Israel. Your God, I praise God. Today I packed a bag full of bombs with my right hand on the Bible and the cross as a charm. I never had a pastor for a dad, and never had a nun for a mom. Lord, protect me, come and save me, make me strongest man is still, so I can still believe in dreams in the world that isn't real. I know you know how it feels to be nailed to a situation, just waiting, debating if you should fuck them up or not. And hell to a place you can't prevail. Ain't no up or down, we already up in hell. For my last supper, I just wanna make a meal so I can buy Noah's Ark and set sail. For real. Save the drowning soul of the alcoholics and workaholics that'll never get to praise their God. My God, my God, my God, my God. It's just you against the world, that's against all odds. Superman couldn't save my brother, surrounded by bonds with his face to the stars and the glass ceiling he can reach with his arms. My God, my God, my God, my God. It's just you against the world, that's against all odds. Today I packed a bag full of bombs and I put the rest of faith in the Holy Quran. Speaking Arabic, teachings of Islam. Me and police, we could never get along. Shahada, you ain't God, there's one God, that's Allah. On my mind, I don't see your laws in my 5 pillars. So I'm popping on some of that lie, trying to get closer to the Most High. Maybe then I'll justify all the badges on the killer. High as a rocket, where I met Muhammad. That's a prophet that I promised you would never get the pocket. Not a surprise when he told me stop working. All the money in the world, it couldn't buy me 40 versions. For real. Save the drowning soul of the alcoholics and workaholics that'll never get to praise their God. My God, my God, my God, my God. It's just you against the world, that's against all odds. Superman couldn't save my brother, surrounded by bonds with his face to the stars and the glass ceiling he can reach with his arms. My God, my God, my God, my God. It's just you against the world, that's against all odds. Today I packed a bag full of bombs. There was never rehab for my dad, and never clean needles for my mom. Sugar heel, tie the bill, real tight across her arm. Let it flow, let it grow, let it flourish like a bomb. From her head to her toes, wasn't fit to respond. Dying slow on the floor, and the spoon still warm. There's 6-point star, ain't the Star of David. I got 5-star friends, I'm just praying that they make it. We banging, ain't changing shit. Send no clip inside of automatic. Even on the Sabbath, I'm a savage, for real. Save the drowning soul of the alcoholics and workaholics that'll never get to praise their God. My God, my God, my God, my God. It's just you against the world, that's against all odds. Superman couldn't save my brother, surrounded by bonds with his face to the stars and the glass ceiling he can reach with his arms. My God, my God, my God, my God. It's just you against the world, that's against all odds.
PROMOSTAR Radio with your girl Simply Candy, baby. Oh, baby, we just got done listening today, Sean P. We are talking about what's the resolution to police killing unarmed minorities, and we are here with Officer QANAH from the I.S.U.P.K. You are killing this right now, and there are plenty people tuned in. We have people from Louisiana. We got people from Texas in the building. I see people from D.C. in the building. I see my New Yorkers in the building right now. What's that right there? I see some people from Minnesota in the building. 100%. Wisconsin's in the building. Chicago's in the building. And who else? Who's that? Not quite sure who that is. But we're going to find out what area code that one is in the building. So, all right, we're getting ready to get into what do you think is the answer, according to the views that you have expressed here. What is the answer to these cops killing minorities?
I mean, that question. I'm glad you asked me that too. That's one hell of a question. I'm gonna get it in the Bible real quick. So pull Zephaniah 2:1 for me real quick. All right. I want you to understand what the Lord says, because me, myself, and I don't have no personal view on these things. At the I.S.U.P.K. and the Commander General Yohanna, what we was taught to do was to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? And we follow them to the T. You know what I'm saying? If the Lord didn't say it, we don't believe it. So that's what we do, okay? pull that scripture, brother. As soon as you get it, let me know. The first thing we got to do is get out the Christian church, all right? Because the Christian church is destroying black minds and it's destroying black lives, okay, with the lies that it's telling us, all right? As long as they can keep you broke and keep lying to you and keep you dancing and screaming and shaking around and running through chairs and running into walls, you would never grasp the concept of the scriptures. All right, in the true resolution, you're only going to find it the ISUPK and the Commander General Yahanna. All right, we got free classes Tuesday through Friday. Tune in. You can Skype in. You can do it online, or you can call in from your phone. You can show up in person. There's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? Your Christian pastor would never tell you what you're going to learn at the ISUPK under Commander General Yahanna. All glory to the Most High. Go ahead and read that for me, brother.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
It's saying, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Well, who is the nation that's not desired? Well, you got to think about it. If you was desired, you wouldn't be dying in the street like dogs. White men ain't getting shot down in the street like dogs on camera every day. That's us. You ain't getting followed around in the store. The white man ain't getting followed around in the store every day. You know what I'm saying? Telling to hurry up and buy. You know what I'm saying? That's us. We the ones they don't want in the suburbs. We the one that get pulled over because we in an upper scale neighborhood. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the color of our skins. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're the ones that's not desired. The so-called Hispanics that's trying to come across the damn border because the white man has got the drug epidemic and the gang epidemic over there out of control, those are the nations that are not desired. They don't want to desire to let them back in their own damn land. You understand what I'm saying? Then we got babies dying on the trains, dying in the lakes, trying to come back over here, and the white man's killing them, hopping those fences. They're shooting them dead out there, too.
And you're not talking about this kids in Africa and in different places like Haiti, right?
Well, one place that you named that is us is Haiti. The Haitians would be the Levites, all right? So the Haitians would be a part of what we consider the 12 tribes, all right? But them stinking Africans have no no ties with us, okay? The Africans are considered our enemies. They're the ones who sold us to the so-called Europeans.
So what about Ethiopians and Jamaicans?
Ethiopians and Jamaicans are considered Africans. And, it's funny you asked me that. Give me that book right there. You see, we're scholars. We don't just make things up. You know what I'm saying? And see, the white man himself, he knows these things. The problem is they don't tell you. You see what I'm saying? Like you said, what about the Ethiopians and everybody else? Well, right here, this is the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, all right? And I want to read to you what it says in here, okay? This is the white man. He's going to let you know something. Ham is the progenitor in the Bible of the so-called African race, all right? Anybody who's a true scholar knows this to be true, all right? It says, the youngest son of Noah, born probably 96 years before the flood. This is the definition of Ham, okay? I'm going to read it one more time. The youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, progenitor being the father of dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians and the Ethiopians and the Libyans and the Canaanites. All right? And then, you got the Genesis 10 and 6 through 20 that says his indecency with his father lay drunken, brought a curse upon Canaan. All right? That's why them Africans was cursed over there in the land of Canaan. All right? That later became our land. So what I want to explain to you is that they're not the so-called Negroes, and the white man knows that. Okay, when we got off the slave ships, nobody said, here goes some Africans for sale. When we got off of the slave ships, they said, here goes some Negroes for sale, or niggers, which came from the word Niger. You understand what I'm saying? Which is also in the scriptures. We were always considered Nigers. You understand what I'm saying? In different regions of the earth. So that's, the word Niger was transliterated into the word nigger. Right.
I just had to ask you that so that you can break down what is so-called black, because I don't think that, when people think about our nation getting shot and, trying to hop over the fences and different things and starving and dying, they show and they broadcast on TV all the time kids in Africa who are starving and dying, Ethiopian children who are starving and dying, people from across the land with dark skin that are starving and dying, and people, what? Hold on. If people would think that, you mean anybody with dark skin is supposed to be black or so-called black according to the Bible, because that's what you're taught in school, that when you're black, you are African, but thus comes the name African American, when you are separating the so-called black people, which are Israelites, from Africans, because there is a difference between like a person from Ethiopia or, different places in the world. That's why I asked you that, because I know that I've watched some of you guys' history on YouTube, which you guys break it down all the way for those who are a little confused, because I talked to a couple people in the chat, and a couple people are a little confused of what is the so-called black, how come African people are not associated and affiliated with the so-called blacks, and just like you said, Egyptian people and different. I got another person that asking a question too. There's people asking me questions on my phone, asking me questions in my inbox. Press the 1 key. Y'all don't be afraid to get on here and talk and ask your questions, because he'll break it down for your understanding 100%. But that's why I asked you that, so that people are not confused of what it means. And then also, before we end the show, I would like for you to tell people how to look up those history classes that are on YouTube, because it's some knowledge right there. Kick us some knowledge that can't be expressed in this little bit of time.
Okay, let me explain this to you. These are the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, first, I just want to back up real quick. All right, when Noah came off of the ark, he had 3 sons. All right, one of them was Shem, one was Japheth, and one was Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay, those were the 3 sons: Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay, when you get the Shem, you get the Semitic people, what they call Semitic. You get the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the Arabs, and you get the white man. When you get the Hamitic people, the people who come from Ham, those were the people that I mentioned earlier, and I read the Ethiopians, the Libyans, the Canaanites. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you would know some of those as like Liberians, Nigerians, and all of those. The Jamaicans are actually going to be Hebrews. They're going to fall under the Semitic category. I'll read to you the 12 tribes of Israel for the people who are listening that are wondering now, am I a part of the chosen people? All right? The 12 tribes of Israel goes like this: Judah, the so-called Negroes; Benjamin, the West Indians; Levi, the Haitians; Simeon, the Dominicans; Zebulon, Guatemala, the Panama; Ephraim, Puerto Ricans; Manasseh, the Cubans; Gad, the Native Indians; Reuben, the Seminole Indians; Asher, Colombia to Uruguay; Naphtali, Argentina to Chile; and Issachar, the so-called Mexican. So those are the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand what I'm saying? If you do not fall under that category, you have no salvation according to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but
show right there. I don't mean to cut you off real quick, but you said no salvation. That is another show. That's another topic that you would like to come back and to express that, because I got some people that are in my inbox right now talking about everybody has salvation on earth. There's people who are talking about you saying things about the Christian church. I have a lot of pastors on Facebook and different things like that. And, it's a debate, and people can have their own views and everything else, but the word is the word, and it never changes. So,
That's
whether you believe it or not, or whether you agree with it, what it says, if you believe in the word, and that's in the Holy Bible or the Bible King James Version, if you believe in the word, then I don't know what to tell you. But I have an anonymous statement / question from somebody that wants me to say this to you. It was said our people are doing unnecessary things like committing crimes, looting, disrespecting, drawing police issues. Also, Duke University recently put out a research saying that Igbo tribe in Nigeria have DNA proof of being from Israel. So what do you think about that?
They said DNA. They had DNA research. Okay, let me just say this right here. Okay, two different things. The first thing that they said was blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, are just black people, are making police kill people. That's exactly what they're really trying to say. You know, they wanted to put it in a pretty way, but what they really want to say is black people are causing the white man to kill them in the street like dogs. The truth of the matter is that could be that's so far from the truth, it's ridiculous. All right? The truth of the matter is this. The so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans would never even want to commit a crime if there wasn't crack cocaine pushed into their communities by the white man. If there wasn't a liquor store on every corner, if they would provide jobs and decent education, the brothers and sisters wouldn't be in the condition that they're in now. I mean, it's ridiculous. The schools can't even get new textbooks, but they build new penitentiaries. They doing analyses on third graders and kindergartners to decide how many penitentiaries they're going to build, but they won't build another school. To see, what we need to do is rule over our own people. We need to separate from the white man. We need to have our own, police our own people. All right, and the only people who are trained to do that is the brothers and sisters, the brothers at the ISUPK under Commander General Yohanna. The second question was DNA. DNA is a hoax.
Hold on. Just for clarification. So to the question, are our people unnecessary things, like doing unnecessary things like committing crimes, looting, disrespecting, or disrespect drawing police issues? And your answer is no, because they're killing us regardless. Of if we're doing anything, we're unarmed, and the minorities are unarmed, and they're getting killed. Just like the guy Jamar Clark who got shot, he wasn't doing anything, and they shot him in the head for nothing. So the brother actually stood up for a sister that they was roughing up. The police was roughing up a sister, and the brother stood up for the sister. They put him in handcuffs and they murdered him. All right, there was another brother, and I believe it was his mother. There was another brother named Jarrell. What was his last name? Jerome Harrell, who was killed in St. Cloud recently in a cell, and they tased him all in his neck, and they smothercated the brother and murdered him in the damn cell. You don't have to do anything to get murdered as a black, Hispanic, and Native American, and anybody who is a so-called minority, I don't have to explain that to them because they understand it. You know, at the end of the day, they need to get up out the Christian church. DNA, though, I don't want to dodge no questions. DNA is a hoax. No. You understand what I'm saying? You are what your father is at the end of the day. So anybody who's drawing an analysis and saying that you are this or you are that based on the mother and the father is already incorrect according to the scriptures. So you just think, so the question was, or the statement was, Duke University recently put out a research saying Igbo tribe of Nigeria have DNA proof being from Israel, and you're saying absolutely not.
I'm saying that no. I'm saying let me say this real quick. When it comes to the Jamaicans, the so-called Jamaicans is Hebrews. You understand what I'm saying? I just wanted to put that out there real quick because I know earlier you said you threw the Jamaicans in there. I didn't touch on the Jamaicans. The Jamaicans are Hebrew Israelites, okay? They're a part of that 12 tribes that I brought out. All right, back to the subject. DNA. When they take DNA, they take certain chromosomes from the mother. They take certain chromosomes from the father, and with that, they determine your nationality. All right? Two problems with that. One problem is this. The so-called white man has his own analysis that he's put together that says if you have one drop of black blood in you, so-called black or African-American blood in you, you're a Negro, period. All right? So that defeats the whole purpose of the DNA. That is just ridiculous. And the second thing is this. According to God in the scriptures, you are what your father is because you are a seed of your father. That's why if you ever look at them go through the genealogy in the scriptures, they always go through the men. They go from, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. They go through the men. You never hear them mention the mothers like that. That's because the mother does not carry the seed. She is the vessel that the seed grows in and comes through. You see what I'm saying? Which is a beautiful thing that the Lord allowed her to be able to experience. But, you know what I'm saying, as beautiful as it is, your mother does not determine your nationality.
But that doesn't mean that just because the mother doesn't determine the nationality, that doesn't mean that you don't have any genuality that comes from the mother, because people look like their mothers all the time. I mean, my kids look like me. You know,
I agree.
One kid looks just like me, the other kid looks just like them. But I mean, I do know that every child is the seed of their father.
Right.
And just like you know, they'll tell you, well, if your dad is black or if your dad is white, then that's what they want to put on your birth certificate. You know, but
that's what they're gonna put on your birth certificate.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because I mean, I believe you are the seed of your father. I just think that your other parent, your mother, has something to do with who you are as well. There isn't any way.
She really does.
If that was the case, then, you know, you wouldn't look anything like your mom at all. You know,
right.
You'll come out,
right. No, the woman,
girls will come out looking just like their dad, you know.
Right, the woman really does. The woman really does have a lot to do with what you may look like or anything else. But what we're talking about is not features that you get when you know, from your mom. What we're talking about, even though there was a study that did just come out as well, and I'm looking for the resource right now. If I can find it, I'll put it out there. If not, I'll do it another day. That says that, you know, the child actually gets more of its dad's features and more of its dad's attributes. You know what I'm saying? Then it's mothers. You know what I'm saying? The truth of the matter is this. You are a boy, you are a girl, you are a live being before you ever enter into your mother. All right? So therefore, you are a seed of your father. You are whatever he is. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you are going to be you regardless, because you're already alive. You already exist.
And according to the scriptures, it says that everybody is the seed of their father. So if you believe in the scriptures and what the scriptures say, then, you know, there isn't really any argument with that. I want to move on to should so-called black people, or should Israelites, I should say. I don't want to keep saying so-called black people. I want to say Israelites, because that's the 12 different tribes. Do you believe that they should join the force in the army and that they should fight for this country?
I'm glad that you asked me that. Okay. No, hell no. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when we join the other nations, we die. I mean, look at any of the past, you know, like the Tuskegee experiments, you know what I'm saying? When the brothers tried to enter into the army and all that, then they shot them all up with syphilis. You know what I'm saying? We've been front line, and what was that? Was that the Civil War they had? I want to say where we died by the thousands. You know what I'm saying? Front line. They put us so we could get knocked over and die. This is what the scripture says about that, all right? Go to, I need to go not into the ways real quick. All right? Go ahead and pull that scripture for me. All right. Read that for me.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2. This saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them.
So you're not supposed to go into the ways of the heathen. You understand what I'm saying? We have our own nation. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody who joins the so-called police department of the white man or his army has the mark of the beast, man. You understand what I'm saying? You're not supposed to take no mark in your head or in your hand for no other nation. You understand what I'm saying? You're not supposed to elect any man as president over the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, no, you're not supposed to join the other nations.
What makes you think that if a person, for not even being personal, your personal opinion, but according to the scriptures, where would it say that, you know, a person who is electing a president is electing a person over the Most High, because there are kings that ruled nations back in the day, even in the Bible. There was kings that ruled over their nation. You know, and
there was
what
all
is the
kind of
difference
kings.
From the president? What is the difference from the president, though, ruling over the United States? That doesn't mean that he's ruling over the Most High.
The difference between a man ruling over the United States is this, all right? The United States is exactly what it's called, United States. It's not the land of Israel, all right? This is not our nation. You understand? You don't elect anybody over your king. The king, our king is Yahweh Shai, which is Jesus, a black man named Jesus Christ. Do you understand what I'm saying? Our king was and forever will be Christ. You understand what I'm saying? So even though there were kings like David, Solomon, and whatnot, you understand what I'm saying? There's a king of all kings, which is Yahweh the Father. You see what I'm saying? So we don't never walk away from our. For instance, I'll give you a situation. In America, under the so-called white man's authority, all right, in the Africans, which Obama's an African, a stinking African. He's not a so-called Negro, okay? So what I want you to, I just want to get that out the way. So what I want to explain is, in America, it's legal to be a homosexual. In the Christian church, you could be a homosexual. Do you understand what I'm saying? But in the Bible, it says that if you're a homosexual, you are to be put to death. You and the person that you lay with. You understand what I'm saying? So our king says death to homosexuality in the Christian church. And the so-called Barack Obama says it's okay to be a homosexual in the Christian church. Do you see what I'm saying?
So what I'm saying
to you have to choose a God.
Okay, so to answer my question of what I'm saying about the president, because you mentioned those of you who are just called in, you got to tune in to PROMOSTAR Radio right now. We got Officer QANAH from the I.S.U.P.K, and he's breaking everything down according to the scriptures of the Most High. And he, so if you guys have any questions, we're talking about what's the resolution to police killing unarmed minorities. If you have any questions or anything you would like to say, press the 1 key. I know Cold Peace is holding on the line, and she has a question for you as well. She wants to talk to you as well. But, okay, so to break down what I was asking you, is basically you're saying that in the United States, they're looking to their president as God. Everybody's looking to Obama as, as if he's the God, because he's contradicting, he's going against everything that it says according to the scriptures out of the Holy Bible. It's going against everything. If God said you should not, if man and man should not lay together, or woman,
let me give you the scripture.
Obama's saying it's okay, and he's making a rule and he's passing a law where everybody can be gay. Okay.
Right.
So,
let me give you the scripture. Let me give you the scripture right out the Bible, okay? Because, I've been doing a lot of talking. Let's read some scripture. Read that. Deuteronomy 17 and 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 15. 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from thy brethren.
One from thy what?
Brethren.
One from thy what?
Brethren.
Obama's a stinking African. He ain't no Hebrew Israelite. We supposed to choose somebody to rule over us that is one of our brethren. Should nobody from no other nation rule over the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans but a black, Hispanic, or Native American? Shouldn't no white bush.
From back in the Bible, all the way back in the biblical days, then there has been someone other than us ruling over us. All the way back then, there's always been somebody else over us. Even when we, even after we were taken into captivity and even brought over here, there's always been somebody else over us. We have not been empowered to where we have been ruling the world or anything else, or ruling anything that we do as a nation. So you're saying that Israelites, which are black, Native, and Hispanic, should not vote and should not elect for presidential because they're not elected to be Israelite that's going to rule over us and be in the best interest of us.
Well, imagine this, that no president has ever been in the best interest of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We still have no major control over any of the trade, none of the diamonds, the petroleum, the sugar, of anything else that makes you a damn millionaire or a billionaire in the United States of America or anywhere else on the planet. So what you have to understand is that the so-called white man, African, Asian, Arabs, and the damn East Indians, they do not want to be joined with you. They do not want to join with you. They don't care about your vote. If you really want to look at votes, hell, you count it as 3/5 of a human. You understand? In the Constitution to this day, they made sure that the slaves counted as 3/5 of a human so that they could, and you only got to be 3/5 of a damn human, meaning 3 out of 5 slaves would even be considered human. They did that just so that they could get the upper hand on the voting situation down south. Because the people in the north didn't want to do it at all. So I'm saying here goes the people who think that you're 3/5 of a damn human telling you to go vote. The demographics still don't. It doesn't matter if you're black. 3 out of 5 people ain't even gonna count when they vote, and that's still in the Constitution to this day. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to explain to you is why elect a man over you when you could elect Yahweh Shai over you, the King. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ, a black man named Jesus Christ.
Just like you said earlier in the scriptures, it said that you should separate yourself from the enemy. So which so happens if you believe that the enemy is the oppressor, and you should separate yourself from that, and that is the only way that you can build as a nation. So your resolution to the cops to stop killing the minorities is the minorities, Israelites, because there are other nationalities that are minorities when it comes to, but he's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel.
Too.
Come together and build it and separate yourself from what is happening in the world. Separate yourself from the oppressor. And it is unfortunate that white police officers are the ones who happen to be a major oppressor in the community today, right now. And I know for me, because what I do, what I have to do, I have to be who I am. But what I'm saying to everybody, I just want people to know they think it's a hard subject to talk about, but it's a truthful subject because it is real, and that's what's happening. Racism still exists. It's not nothing that you can just sweep underneath the rug and act like
God's
it's
racist.
not happening, because it's happening. It's on TV, and for me, it's not. It doesn't feel very good for me to turn on the TV and to see unarmed minorities dead in the street. Just like it wouldn't be for me, I wouldn't feel comfortable with it if it had been anybody. But it happens to be minorities every damn day. Every time I turn on the TV, it's somebody from my city dead. If I could, I don't mean to cut you off. If I could, though, I would like to stop saying minority, because the truth of the matter is we are the majority, and it's time for us to start seeing shit clear. Salaki, I just got to put it out there. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have to separate from the so-called white man, and what I mean by that is stop celebrating Thanksgiving. Stop celebrating Christmas. Stop running around spending all your money on Valentine's Day. That is not in the Bible. Do you understand? Christmas is in the Bible, and you're not supposed to celebrate it. You understand what I'm saying? This is what you need to do, is separate from the white man's culture and his customs, because anytime us as a people go into the ways of the heathens, we're always destroyed, anywhere in the Bible, anywhere in history. So not only do we need to separate from them, but we need to come back to our law, statutes, and commandments. And the only place that brothers and sisters are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments is at the I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General Yohanna, period. This is the only place where you're going to get the raw, uncut Bible. Now,
so if you really love the Most High, repent. Sorry, so go ahead. My bad.
I have another person who says that they think the simplest way to stop killing is to stop buying. Stop the killings is to stop buying from the stores and restaurants. They feel that if we also should stop supporting them, supporting the oppressor.
Well, yeah, you can as much as possible. Nothing's wrong with that. If we came together, we would have money to make the wings. What the hell are Chinese people making fried chicken wings for anyway? They don't eat fried chicken. That's something we eat, okay? Why are they making puff? What are them things called? Pepperoni puffs and whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? What are them puffs called? Cheese puffs and all that, and barbecue fries. That's what we eat. What the hell is an Arab doing cooking a Philly steak and cheese? You understand what I'm saying? They're capitalizing off of us. But money is not the problem. Sin is the problem. Black men want to sleep with white girls. That's the problem. Black men want to sell crack and buy Michael Jordans.
Okay.
That's the problem.
I'm going to ask you about interracial dating in just a few seconds here, because I know you keep bringing that up. But I got Cole Peace back on the line. I know you had a question earlier that you would like to ask him. Go ahead and feel free.
Okay, basically what I want to ask is if the races have been mixed with each other, even long before some people were slaves and brought to this country, you know what I'm saying? I mean, who are the pure Israelites? Because a lot of people are mixed with a whole bunch of stuff from a lot of different places.
Okay. Well, let me help the sister out.
Before they
Okay?
got to America.
Let's say this then. Rome took over the whole earth at one point in time. So if that's the case, then everybody's white. Do you see what I'm saying? So let me explain something to you. That's untrue. I see why you would think that, though. A lot of people do. I once myself thought that way as well. But I'm gonna teach you the right way right now. The right way is this.
I'm just asking a question because
no,
I'm not
sis.
black.
No, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? No, this
I
is the reason
understand. You
why.
definitely ain't.
I'm not even one. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go by the color of my skin or who my relatives are, I'm not even shouldn't even be considered American. You know what I'm saying? But I look like them. Some of them.
Oh,
well,
what is your dad?
But my relatives
dad?
weren't slaves. My relatives were not slaves. Maybe they were slaves back in our own country, in the Middle East.
What country is it?
You know what I'm saying? From Yemen.
Hold on 1 second. To intervene, American just means America. So everybody that comes over here, no matter what their nationality is, when they're born here, they get this tag American.
No, I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about bloodline, ancestry.
I know, I'm not finished. I know. And then what QANAH is saying is that even though people have mixed and all that, you're the seed of your father. So if your father is of Israel, then so are you. That's like the simple.
Hold on one second. If I could, real quick. American comes from a man named America Vespucci, all right, or something like that, Vespucci or whatever his damn name was. That is a white man's name, okay? So the thing about it at the end of the day is nobody is an American. You understand? When a person takes over, back in the day, when a person would take over a continent, he would name it after himself, just like Africa. Africa was not called Africa before it was taken over by a stinking white man, you know, whose name was Africa, basically. All right. So at the end of the day, what that doesn't determine your nationality. African or American is not a nationality.
Purebred Israelites are alive in America right now today.
Every so-called Negro. Every so-called Negro, every so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American person whose grandfathers. Hold on, I'm trying to answer your question. You gotta listen now. Whoever's grandfathers are so-called Negroes, and you trace your heritage back to being a so-called what they call a Negro or African American or a colored. Those are the true Jews. Those are the true Israelites. You understand what I'm saying? You chase your tribe back to the Cherokee Native Americans, you are a damn Israelite. All right? You put it back to if you're a so-called Hispanic and you trace your stuff back and you think you're an Aztec and you don't have no white daddies, then you are an Israelite. But if you have a white daddy or a white granddaddy, you are not a Hebrew Israelite.
Okay, now I got some more callers and I got some questions
or
to ask.
stinking African.
Oh my God. I'm gonna go down the line and and I'm going to click some callers in here. You got some statements coming out of you, QANAH. We got caller area code 646 last 4 digits 1117. Caller, where you calling from? You're live on the air.
Shalom. How about This is Officer Katazah, Bronx, New York.
Shalom. What's going on with it, Ottawa?
Cooling, man. I just, you know what I'm saying, want to say all praises to the Most High Christ for a strong brother like you, man.
The water. All glory to Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai?
Man, if I could, can I make 2 points?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, son.
Humbly, man. One, I had this bottled up since earlier, man. White people need to be quiet when it comes to black people's problems. You understand that? And I'm because I think it was a white man that brought up that there's white people in the prison system too. There's a difference between over 2 million black and Hispanics who's in prison because of God knows what, maybe petty larceny, because of a condition in the ghetto that his ancestors placed them in comparison to a white man who's the biggest criminal on the earth, who stole America from sea to shining sea, murdered 77 million North American Indians, and then celebrates Thanksgiving. So don't ever compare a black person's crime to a white man's when a white man's the biggest thief, biggest murderer, biggest rapist on the planet. That's number one. Number two, whoever that was, that anonymous question that said black people are the ones provoking the police shooting them, Akai Gurley, who died in Brooklyn, was walking into his building. Eric Garner died from selling what they say untaxed cigarettes when I never seen an Arab get choked out for selling loose. Nobody goes into the store and chokes out Habibi. You understand that? Trayvon Martin died walking home with a hoodie on. You understand that? You don't need a reason for a black man or a Hispanic man to get gunned down in the street. You understand that, outside of his complexion or the fact that he's a child of Israel, man. And lastly, there's only one thing that everybody needs to know that you're not going to learn anywhere else but from brothers like QANAH, AHLA, and every other brother who was raised by Commanding General Yahanna through the spirit of the Most High in Christ. And that's the only solution outside of keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments and separating from this devil. You understand that? Is that if we do that, it's to rule over the man who's ruling over us. It's not to look for equality. You understand that? This white man needs to be in a cage. And if we rule over him, he will stop killing us. And what we do in here, we don't raise people who want equality, which you can't be equal with that man until he cuts sugarcane for 400 years, until he takes cotton for 400 years, until he goes and mines our gold for 400 years and gives us our labor. Then we can talk about equality. Until then, the I.S.U.P.K. under the Most High Christ, the Commander General Yahanna, is going to raise up conquerors like the brother who's on this show right now.
That's what's up. I appreciate you calling, dropping that knowledge and kicking that real quick. Now, do you have a class that you teach?
Okay, we for sure do. If anybody's in the tri-state area in New York, 2 West 115th Street, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You know what I'm saying? We be holding classes down in Harlem. Of course, ISUPK.com. And we also have a radio show that we do Thursday night into Friday morning. You can catch all this at ISUPK.com, or if you're in the area, 101.5 WLNK Linkage Radio.
That's how you do it. So, Conan live from the corner store. I know you're tuned in. You're always tuned in every single week. If you want to know more about the ISUPK, you guys are definitely in the area. Hit them up. Feel free. Thank you very much for calling PROMOSTAR Radio. I appreciate you.
Hey, no sweat. Appreciate y'all opening up the platform for my brother to spit this truth, man.
100%.
When nowadays I work hard on the job till I come cross y'all. Still like I'm a criminal. Crime and get caught, it could be your first charge. Like, man, you ain't getting the minimum. It gon' dip, squat, 5 mile run, push, pull, sit on. Goddamn, get strong. Looking at my baby, trying to keep them doing wrong. It's too long before they grow. I can't leave them on their own. They killed Day like he had a 30-day case. The news covering up the story for what they say. It took me back to the time we lost Otis. Pretending these crackers, they gon' tell you something bogus. And I'm thinking like, damn, what you tell the kids? We try to put up a fight, but did we